All right, so this is part 2 of our reading. My phone got overheated, so we were at the fifth chakra, right? Fifth chakra. So, what is it that our heart has to tell us? So, what does our heart want us to speak, right? How do we more clearly communicate from the heart? All right. So, what is the message our heart has for our throat chakra? All right. All right. So we have 2 cards here. The first one, honesty is essential, right? So what do you notice in this card? What is it telling us? 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 is the master teacher. 11 is the bridge between this world and the next. So in this card, I see a woman being coy and looking back at a man. We see the moon in the background, and this city, to me, like, kind of, I don't know, it's resonating to me as like Lemuria, heaven on earth, right? And the man is masked, right? So this card is saying that you have to speak your truth, right? Speak from the heart. I keep telling my friends this, and they keep telling me, right? Because we're all in the same energy. We all reflect our light back. So card 38 is the heart is telling us to be true to ourselves, right? Speak with love and truth. Love aims to do what is best for another person. Speak honestly. Tell the truth about your emotions. There is an opportunity to clear the air and create a positive outcome. Truthfulness is an important part of any relationship. If you're sharing something that isn't real, you aren't being straightforward. Don't be manipulative, right? That's what the world wants us to do. When you avoid the truth because you fear how it will be received, you create blocks or walls in your relationships. Work on speaking with clarity, love, softness, and honesty. To get to the truth and develop a stronger bond with your partner, be compassionate about their emotions. Try to open to what they have to say and avoid personalizing their frankness, right? So I know that this is definitely a message for me. Sometimes it is hard to get out of that cycle of defensiveness, especially when you have had a lot of experiences in your life where you felt like your truth has been dampened, or you feel like you're too much, your emotions are too intense, things of that nature. So this card, it's like our heart is telling us that we have to be true, and we also have to hold love and really listen through somebody else's emotions, because ultimately, if you love somebody, it's not about you, it's really about them, right? And how they're feeling, even if that's not what you feel or what your intentions were. So just make sure to stay open, and stay open to your heart. Really listen to your heart, because your heart is just the most powerful entity within your body, right? Your heart is the seat of your higher self, and it's trying to guide you. It is the only thing that can and should guide you. It's the best mentor. So just make sure that you are speaking truthfully. We also have this card, 3 plus 6 is 9. And this card is a beautiful card, right? So we see her, and she has the feathers in her hair. She has the hawk above her. She is in pure independence. She is in flow. She is in ecstasy and reverie. It says, turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love, right? So your heart is trying to remind you that it loves you, and that your higher self is always there for you, and that you have to in those moments of despair, And it's funny because my friend just said this to me, but in those moments of despair, just think about something that lights up your heart, right? Thinking of loving moments will enable you to open your heart. Drawing on a memory of love reopens and heals your heart to receiving love. It is important to keep your heart light on and broadcast your love into the world. Discover ways to convey extra love to each person in your life. The world is always reflecting your thoughts about yourself and those around you. If you think the world is a positive and loving place, that will be what you experience most of the time. Getting back to a place where you believe in love will bring more love back to you, right? So, I just got bit by an ant. So yeah, our heart is trying to remind us to speak lovingly to ourselves and to speak openly, to be authentic, to always share what it is that you actually feel, right? So now we're going to go into our third eye, right? So our intuitive seat of power. What is it that our third eye needs to know from the heart, right? So how do we activate our third eye, and how do we create a loving relationship between our intuition and our heart space? What does our heart need to know? It needs to tell. All right, our third eye. All right. So we have demonstrate love. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. Right? So we see here, to me, when we think about that in the third eye, it's like stop questioning that you know what the people and yourself, your higher self needs, right? Stop questioning your intuition and demonstrate it. Act on it. Don't just sit there thinking, oh, like this person would like this, blah, 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 blah. You need to actually demonstrate how you care about somebody, right? And if you look at this picture, it's a little girl, right? It's the innocence of the heart. And she is sitting and she is looking. She has the flowers in her hair. The blue flowers to me are the throat, right? They are the divine love. And this is her, like, thinking about her happy spot, right? With a horse and loving the rainbow and the bluebird in the background, the squirrels. It's like, and then we see the angel wings behind her. We know what we need, right? The way of the heart is our innocence. We need to trust the innocence of our heart. And we need to pour that innocence and that purity and that love out into the world and to the people around us. And we need to show them how we care about them. Because a lot of the times, because of the way that the world kind of programs us, it takes a lot of courage to speak what you know and to show love to everybody in your life, right? So people often give clues about what is important to them. You can show your affection for someone by listening when they have a lot to say, going for a walk with them, helping with chores or planning a vacation. Paying attention to what others are telling you can help you understand how to love them better, right? We always tell ourselves how to love, right? Our heart is telling us what we need, but we need to make sure that we live by that. That is the way, right? Create time for someone in your life, no matter what you have in your schedule. Make finding moments for those you love a priority. Those who love you understand you're busy, so when you change your day for someone, it does not go unnoticed. There are so many ways to show someone you're thinking of them. Send flowers, an email, text, or make a phone call. Preparing a favorite meal for someone or running an errand to alleviate stress, right? It is time for a clear demonstration of happiness and delight. So your heart is trying to tell you that you have everything within you to be happy, right? And you yourself are very loved and you are lovable. So just show that love and follow your intuition as far as what people need. If you're thinking of somebody, reach out to them. If you yourself need somebody to reach out to you, don't be afraid to listen, right? Like, they will reach out to you if you send that psychically to them. We are all psychic beings. We are all capable of communicating without words. So that's what our third eye is trying to tell us. Now we are on to our crown chakra, which is our seat of unity consciousness. It is our connection to the everything, to the spirit, to the divine mother, our higher self, right? Our higher self's destiny. Our destiny is guided by our higher self, right? So just making sure that we are following our path and that we are accepting and allowing ourselves to feel that universal light around us. So what does our heart have to tell us about unity consciousness and connecting to the everything, the Atman? Okay, ants, please leave me alone. I'm asking you nicely. Alright. Crown chakra, what does our heart have to tell us about our crown chakra? Okay. So we have here, we have card 32, 3 plus 2 is 5. It says relationship patterns, right? Takes strength to recognize the need for change, right? So to me, this card is telling us, see, you can see she's looking in the mirror, right? She's looking and taking stock in everything that she's been through, right? And she understands that the only way to really connect into that unity consciousness is to let go of the illusion of separation. The patterns that we experience is our higher self's way of telling us that we need to move beyond that, right? So she has the water around her, right? She's flowing with the universe. The trees are lighting up. It's like she's connected to everything. So in order for us to connect to everything, we need to let go of this idea of separation. Consider the patterns that drive you to certain people in your life. You may find the next person you meet has similar qualities to your last partner. This is what you're energetically attracting. Once you learn the lesson, you'll be able to attract healthier outcomes. Well, I don't know about the whole healthier part. I think that's kind of a loaded word. But anyway, it may be helpful to share the disappointments or pain from the past, whether from your current relationship or another period in your life. Be honest with yourself and address situations as they happen. Acknowledge that you can no longer stifle your feelings. Know your strengths and your triggers. See your past relationships as opportunities to grow and figure out what makes you happy. You have a better chance at a lasting relationship when you have self-awareness. Avoid idealizing past relationships as they can hold influence over future outcomes. Love will not magically make you feel worthy or happy unless you have achieved those values for yourself, right? So that's just reminding us that every person that comes into our life, whether it's romantic, friendship, even if we think about creatures like, animals, things of that nature, everything is a reflection of us and our inner strength and our inner process, right? We magnetize the vibration and the energy that we're giving out into the universe. So basically what your heart's trying to tell you is to take stock in those patterns. Really look at what it is you're attracting and magnetizing, and being open to considering it in a different light, right? So that is our chakra reading. So looking back, our root chakra again was true love, right? So our foundation with ourself needs to be that of true love. Our truest love in our life is ourself, right? Because ourself, that thing we can do, there's no way to get rid of us, right? So making sure that you follow your heart and that you really develop that relationship with yourself will bring in abundance, right? And so after that, for our throat chakra, we had, or not throat chakra, for our sacral, right? Our sacral chakra, we had loving words have the power to change lives, including your own, right? Speak the language of love, right? So taking Mary Magdalene's advice, understanding that our emotions are not something we should fight against, but they're actually loving feedback from our higher self to kind of give us a compass of how we're feeling so that we can live by our heart, right? Our third, our solar plexus, was all about love makes the difference, right? Love helps heal past wounds. So that again is about release. Our heart is telling us that we're in a brand new moment, right? So you need to let the past go in order to move forward, in order to live by your heart. You need to be able to listen to your heart, right? And then our heart chakra was telling, we're missing one. Right. So, okay, well, let's jump to the throat, right? So the throat was telling us honesty is essential and turn on your heart light, right? So speaking out love, right? We create our reality with the words that we choose to use. So our heart is trying to remind us, just be real, be clear. If something is going on in your life that's upsetting you, if there's some sort of disappointment, some sort of misunderstanding, all you have to do is be clear and speak from the heart, right? And then demonstrate love was our third eye. So making sure that your heart is always in the forefront, that you actually reach out when you're feeling like you need to. And then relationship patterns with our crown chakra. So now I am going to pull from our other deck, which is the Work Your Light Oracle. And I am going to ask if there is anything else that our heart needs to share with us at the moment. So what is it that the collective needs to hear to really begin to live the way and to live from the heart? Oh, wow. Okay, well, let's see. These cards jumped out. So we have the mirror, right? This card is very beautiful. You can see that she's there, right? The roses surrounding her, that's also a sign of Mother Mary. If you think about the rose has the vulnerability, the layers, but also has the thorns, right? So as you can also see who or what is triggering you, remember that our higher self attracts people into our life to show us what we still need to work on so that we can reach our highest potential. So those people who really trigger us, who really make us feel something, those are our lights, right? Those are the parts of ourself that still need to be worked through and uncovered. Like if you think about soulmates, twin flames, all of that, right? We're all mirrors to each other, both in love and in darkness. So our heart is saying that it is time for you to really look at yourself. Again, I know I'm always saying that, but in order to reach our highest potential and to live the way of the heart and to really integrate and to just feel whole, you have to go back into yourself and you need to be able to work through those issues that are still getting in the way, right? We got the priestess, right? The priestess is a channel. She's a portal. She is between this world and that world. She is intuitive. And it's saying, how are you being called to step up and lead, right? Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Hathor, Isis, all of these people, all of these light workers, They stood up when it was time for them to stand up, right? They developed themselves internally so that they could better lead and give their light externally. So your path to that leadership, we're in a revolution right now, light revolution. People are awakening. And so it's essential that we look in the mirror to become whole so that we can better lead the people around us, right? Light workers, star seeds, those of us who kind of were born with this knowledge, maybe fell into addictive patterns, fell into running, just got frustrated because it's like, oh my God, like how does this world not see who the fuck I am, right? Now is the time for us to use those gifts, those internal, empathic, just those visions, those channels, those worlds, like those things that we have. It is time for us to step up and to lead others along their own path to self-discovery and to development so that we can get past this world of illusions that we've been living in, right? Jesus said it, Mother Mary said it, like a lot of people said it. The only thing that can get in the way of your heart is to not be authentic, to let fear rule you, right? So if you think about temptation, the only temptation we ever have is to quell our light and not to listen to our heart. The most courageous thing we can do is to listen to our heart and to step up and to lead those around us honestly, bluntly. We don't need to continue to dim our lights, to dumb ourselves down, to engage in these worldly activities that don't feel right to us. It is time for us to stand up, take our leadership, and to be our authentic selves in every single context, right? And then finally, oh my God, I love it, right? Sisterhood of the Rose, right? Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Mother Mary taught Mary Magdalene, right? They went to mystery schools. They were highly educated women. So to me, this card is telling us to step into your power, to live your life in beauty and devotion, to live your life in that higher self, and to reach out and to love the people around you, especially your sister, right? You see her and she has the heart, like she's holding her heart, right? Like this is getting beyond separation, right? This is understanding that every single person on this planet is your brother and is your sister, and that it is our job as the high priestess to begin to lead them, right? And the only way for us to get to the point where we are effective, loving, compassionate leaders is for us to look in the mirror, to get integrated, to heal our past wounds, and to live in this moment, and to follow our heart. Our heart is the seat of our higher power. So those are my messages for today. I love you. And remember, you are the oracle. You are the one you've been waiting for. If you're hurting, reach out to your guides. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your own heart. And remember that you have everything you need within you. This is time for a spiritual revolution. This is the time that Jesus was talking about. That's why Jesus and Mary Magdalene did all the work that they did together, so that we could do it without the persecution. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Remember that you are loved. Namaste.